Working from home can be a really interesting experience. You're doing everything you can to be productive and manage your time well. But let's be honest, you keep getting distracted by the smallest things, and you find yourself procrastinating before you set out to complete the task that you needed to. Everything happening in the world right now has required a lot of us to maintain some degree of social distancing, and in many cases caused companies to close their doors temporarily and ask employees to work from home. And people are figuring out how to go about doing this. So I want to share with you a technique that might be the answer to you getting more out of your time working from home, especially when the environment and things happening in the world might not be the most conducive to you getting your work done. So allow me to introduce you to the Pomodoro Technique. The Pomodoro Technique is a productivity philosophy that was developed in the late 1980s by Francesco Cirillo, who used a tomato-shaped kitchen timer, or Pomodoro, to divide work up into intervals in an effort to be more productive. Splitting work into intervals with regular breaks has been widely thought to allow for more focus and flow, thereby allowing one to complete projects faster with less mental fatigue. This is probably one of the simplest productivity methods to implement, especially when you have a shorter attention span like me and function best with quick bursts of productivity like me. All you'll need is a regular kitchen timer or even the timer on your phone. The process is simple. Choose a task to be accomplished. Set the Pomodoro to 25 minutes. Work on that task until the Pomodoro rings, and then put a check mark on your sheet of paper. Once that 25 minutes is up, take a short break. 5 minutes should be fine. And every 4 Pomodoros, take a longer break, 15 to 30 minutes, whatever you feel you need. Now, when I gave this a shot, I kept getting distracted by random thoughts in my head, like what someone's diet must be like to require this much toilet paper, or who would really buy a $350 bottle of hand sanitizer. But my recommendation would be to write down these distractions so you can think about them later and instead focus on the task at hand. Also, try to keep your phone on silent. You're going to have to reset the timer if you answer your phone. Alright, so if you have a large and varied to-do list, using the Pomodoro Technique can help you crank through projects faster by forcing you to adhere to strict timing. Watching the timer wind down can spur you to wrap up your current task more quickly, and spreading a task over 2 or 3 Pomodoros can keep you from getting frustrated. The constant timing of your activities makes you more accountable for your tasks and minimizes the time that you spend procrastinating. The stages of planning, tracking, processing, and visualizing are fundamental to this technique, but so is the sense of urgency that a ticking clock can bring. A hack that I used was to keep everything that I needed to do the task at an arm's length from me, so that I wouldn't have to get up in the middle of a session. With regard to the breaks at the end of each Pomodoro, I recommend using your 5 minutes to get a glass of water, or use the bathroom, or even walk around. In my experience though, I found that I prefer to skip my break and work through it if I'm in a state of flow. This is where I think you should feel free to break the rules a little bit if you've got your creative juices flowing, since it can be hard to find your flow, or even start the work in the first place. Now, you don't need to have a tomato-shaped timer like this to use the Pomodoro Technique. The timer on your phone should be enough to do the job. There's also an app called Tide, which is designed for you to use this method and even plays ambient music to help you focus. I'll link that in the description below. All in all, I found that the Pomodoro Technique allowed me to keep track of the things I needed to get done, and most importantly, get me into the headspace where I could focus on a task so that I could easily get it out of the way. So I hope that you guys find this helpful, because during this time we're all trying to do the best that we can and stay productive. Thank you so much for watching. Wash your hands, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.